So what is it that you do with your body that you think provokes your panic attacks? For me myself, I find that caffeine just does not sit well for me. Caffeine's a big no-no for me. There's a point earlier this year where I was drinking coffee every day, working 5 days a week. So you could say 5 days a week I was having a cup of coffee a day. And those were times of increased anxiety and nervousness, and the bad thing about caffeine is that it makes you really twitchy already, and it already stimulates your nervous system with the caffeine content that's in it. It stimulates the panic attack. So you've got to think about it. It's just there beneath everything, just brewing. It's brewing your heightened sense of anxiety. So whereas I'm normally feeling, about here, this being a very calm, grounded state, and this up here being anxious and paranoid, my calm, self-centered state is heightened to probably about here when I'm drinking coffee every day. It's not much fucking distance to get to that level of where I am going nuts and I'm going completely off. There is another thing that causes my anxiety, so pretty badly, is the gym. So when I go to the gym, I'd be lifting my weights, and I'd be lifting so much that my nervous system is just overloaded, and my heart is racing. It gets to a point where my heart is just racing. My hands will start shaking. My body just starts shaking because of the tension of lifting heavy weights for extended periods of time. And before I go into the gym down here, when I go into the gym and I'm lifting my weights, I go up here just like as if I've had a cup of coffee. But the feelings are similar but different at the same time. So the only difference is that I've exhausted myself at the gym and I've overstressed my nervous system by lifting heavy weights, whereas with coffee, I've just been drinking it and it's just been stimulating me in similar ways, of as if adrenaline has been secreting. So there was actually a point where I was at the gym and I had a really stressful day at work. I work in sales for an internet company, and I was carrying a laptop in one hand and a modem in another hand, and I opened the back door to get out to see my customer, and my laptop fell out of my hand because I bumped into someone and it's completely smashed all over the floor. It honestly, like the screen came off, wires hanging out of it and shit. It was really, really, really bad. And that put stress on me. Like I was stressed out, especially seeing as I had signed a statement saying that if I was to break any of the equipment that I use at work, it'd be docked out of my pay. Mind you, that these laptops are worth probably a couple of grand. So obviously I was freaking out, but I kind of did feel myself. I as I said in previous videos, where I just felt my body, felt the tension in my body and the stress in my body, felt myself seizing up and stressed, and my tolerance went from here right up to here. And I just put that in the back of my mind and thought I'd worry about it later. I'd talk to other people about it later. And then later on in the day, after work finished, I still was unconsciously stressed about the laptop incident, and I had about an hour nap, and then I went over to the gym, and what I thought would be a really good idea was just go nuts at the gym. Lift really, really heavy, so heavy that that it put enormous strain on my body, on my already overworked body, on my already overstressed body. And I finished my last set, okay, and something just didn't feel right. Something really didn't feel right at all. I suddenly had foggy vision. I felt completely disconnected from absolutely the whole entire world, and I became extremely aware of what was happening to me. And at that point, I should have done my diaphragmatic breathing and relax. But what I did, the mistake that I made, was that I played into the cyclone of fears about the sensations I was having, such as the disassociation from the world around me. After that, I had tingles shooting down my arms. I was forgetting, mind you, I was forgetting to observe myself. I forgot. That's a bad place to be, especially seeing as, you've just stressed yourself out all day to the point where I was just dropping shit everywhere, and then to lift really, really heavy weights at the gym afterwards. Really bad place to be. And I walked up to just this random guy and I said, "Hey man, I'm not really feeling right. I feel like I think I've overtrained, and I was starting to freak out. I got caught up, and this is why I say, easier said than done when you're trying to observe yourself. And I don't blame you about how real this is feeling for you. I don't blame you, because it happens to me too. This is what I'm saying. Went up to this guy in the gym, completely lost in the sensations I was having, tingles down my arms, heart racing, telling the guy, "Hey man, I don't really feel too good," and I urged him to call the ambulance from my phone. Talk about embarrassing. He took me outside and I sat on the ground feeling like I was going to die. I felt like I was on my way out. Honestly, I felt like I was on my way out. This is my last day on earth. I couldn't feel my heart anymore because it must have been beating that fast. And I was hypersensitive to everything. And crowd of people were surrounding me while I was yelling at this guy like, I'm going to die, please help. Until the paramedics arrived. By the time the paramedics arrived, my hands were seizing up like this. They were locked up like that. I couldn't move them. I was stiff as a board. My mouth was paralyzed. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk at all. I had chest pain because everything was seizing up. Phantom feeling, by the way, okay? And when the paramedics arrived, they told me that I had actually been hyperventilating. Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that? I felt like I was going to die. I felt like I was on my way out. And the paramedics told me that I was hyperventilating. I'm laying on the ground, like, embarrassing. Things started clicking. I observed my body again. I saw what was going on, and I thought, this isn't right. And I immediately breathed through my nose, and out through my mouth, really slowly. My heart rate was doing this. Boom, 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 boom. Within about a couple of minutes, they chucked me in the back of the ambulance and drove me to the hospital for further checks, and everything was negative. I was all clear. What I was originally stating with this video is that if you take stimulants, or if you do any kind of thing that promotes the anxiety, by all means you can do that thing, but be aware. Be very, very aware of what you're doing. Very aware. Because you don't want to get caught up. You don't want to get caught up in this cyclone of bad sensations in your body that's causing you to lose control. Now, I still go to the gym. I go to the gym 4 days a week. But this time, I just learned my boundary. I just found out where that tipping point is of where I start to lose control. Get the hell out of your head, get out of your mind, and start listening to your body. This video's gone quite a long time now. So I hope that all helps. And if you wish for me to elaborate on any of these things that I've just explained, please hit me up. Peace. Have a very Merry Christmas. Bye.